Hi Pisces, how's everybody doing? Before we get into it, let's set the intention for this to be a space where everyone allows themselves to feel seen and validated, and ultimately for this to be a safe space and a healing space in alignment with everyone's highest good. I hope that you guys are doing well. All right, this was coming through in the pre-shuffle. I'm looking at the Six of Cups. I'm hearing a walk down memory lane. Truly, with the Hanged Man and the Six of Cups. It's like you may be fantasizing about something or someone related to the past. For some of you, you're having dreams about someone. Neptune represents the 12th house. It can be quite a subconscious energy. Like things can be popping up that you're like, well, where did that come from? Where did that thought come from? Seeing something about an oven mitt here. I'm also seeing something about dancing. Like it looks like somebody has very particular shoes on. It looks like there's something that's got you very caught up. I'm seeing a sunrise here. Mentally, something's going on. Like it feels even like this, like something is circulating, or there's this like thought that you can't get past. It feels like something continues looming on. This can even be like a sense of nostalgia, and it's like you're doing what you can, even like for some of you to like get away from somebody or to cut cords, and it's like, why do I feel like I just can't get rid of this energy? I'm seeing a T here. This came through in the Capricorn reading. That may be a clue for some of you. And Taurus is here. This was also coming through in the pre-shuffle as well. I'm hearing you may be getting so caught up in like what you're experiencing that you're missing the big point. It feels like there's a bigger message that you need to see, that maybe like because you're in the midst of experiencing it and like are so subjective and so zoomed in, you may be having a hard time like widening the breadth of your view and like understanding something that you're meant to be understanding. It's almost like there's a big zooming out that is needed, but I'm seeing this be very difficult because like you're in the midst of this experience right now. This can be something that like it's taking quite some time to sort through. Interesting message. I'm getting something going on, like physically. You may be experiencing something. Like I'm hearing the word ovaries specifically. That sounds like a specific message for someone. You see the way this looks, even like the reproductive system? This is what I'm seeing here. It's really interesting. I've never had that come through before. There can even be something going on that's like related to your belief system, and like also how that relates to your physical body, and like what you feel is appropriate for you as well. It looks too like there's something right now. There's something right now that you're meant to be doing. And this is about like when you are feeling yourself within your own energy, something is going to be very easy to do. However, if there's like a lack of confidence here, you may be having a harder time making a decision, but it's just something that needs to get done. I'm seeing something that you could have been putting off. But this is a situation where it's like, this is up to you and laying on you whether or not you're going to bring justice to a situation. But there's something that like you need to see before you do this, or like a place, like I'm getting this even mentally, that you need to get to in order to get this done. And speaking of getting something done, we're looking at the Nine of Pentacles here. But I'm seeing like so much confusion in general, but this is about like you expressing yourself in the way that you want to, in a way that you feel comfortable with, in a way that's in alignment with you. And like for some of you, it's like your spiritual beliefs, like your morals, like some type of mantra even that you hold on to. For some of you too, you could be having a hard time letting someone go because of the way that they had you feeling, like physically or like confidence wise about yourself, or like even like within your sexuality. Like this, I'm seeing somebody that like could have been very sweet with you at times. Like they could have like done things for you. You could have seen this as somebody that was kind of, I'm getting like a type of energy where someone like may have been like more protective over you. Like that type of vibe, and like you may have really liked the way that they treated you, but I'm wondering like what the hang up is here, because like I'm seeing why you would have liked this person, but I don't know like why all this other stuff is going on here with them. Like, is this just somebody that you're no longer with but you keep thinking of? Oh, you know what I'm seeing here too that I didn't really see before? There's like this transition with the Six of Cups where like in the first cup the flower is kind of dead, and then it's like in the second one it's coming to life a little bit more, and in the third one it looks like it's like even more coming to life, and in the last one it's like fully alive in the cup. So it's like something is going through like some type of cycle. Like maybe you're even bringing something back to life with somebody. Yeah, I am looking at the Ace of Cups here. This can be like somebody coming through. It looks like the way that they would come through is very sweet with you. But I don't know. You know what? It just seems like it's not that straightforward to me. To have the Hanged Man and Justice here, like there could be a very good reason why you're not involved with this person anymore. However, you know, sometimes when we have distance from somebody, it's like we start just remembering like only the nice things that they did or the good times that we had, and we don't like always recall like the reason why it's better for us not to be with that person anymore. Like that can be something that's happening, especially with Neptune here. Like Neptune has a tendency to bring us into a fantasy space where everything is very like dreamlike and fanciful, and it's all very beautiful and glorious, and sometimes it can be very out of touch, or it's very unrealistic when it's ungrounded, and it can be an illusion. It can be something that like we would like to believe, and sometimes we delude ourselves into believing it, that it can be nice and it can be a certain way. And I'm seeing that be related, like the Six of Cups and the Hanged Man are touching here, so I'm seeing it be like these thoughts these I'm hearing recalled memories that you're having between you and this person. It's like you're just remembering the times when they were very like sweet and nice and gentle with you, and like how they made you feel. Like I'm even getting like a sexually empowered energy. But it's like, what about all of the other times also? Because like, aren't those the reasons why you're not with this person anymore? It's like, I'm seeing like, even though love is still there, of course, like the energy cannot be like destroyed, you know, it's going to still be there. It looks like something that you just need to let go of here. That doesn't mean that you don't love this person or that you need to be like, I hate you or whatever, but it's more so this notion of you guys aren't together for a reason. Because it looks even like karmically, there is a purpose as to why things did not work out with this person. But you may just be going through a phase right now where it's like, you know, progress is not linear. You could have felt before like you worked through it or you were making progress. And it's like now you're having a day where you're looking back and like all you're thinking about are like the sweet memories that you had with this person, you know, which is totally okay. However, don't go about like making a choice just because this is the way that you're feeling. You want to sit with this, because I'm seeing like you may not be seeing everything right now that you need to see. I'm getting something about like a lesson. I'm seeing something going on with spirit and your guides. Like I'm even seeing you like at some sort of lecture, but I'm seeing it be like spirit or like you talking with your spirit guides. And it's like, I'm even seeing like you and another person kind of like side by side with each other. Like this can even be like you and the collective like going through something where like spirit and the guides are having some sort of conversation with you. Seeing too like things could have been very stressful with this person when you were with them. Like maybe because of how like much you were feeling towards this person, along with all of the other things that were going on. What I'm getting too is that like because of the way that you feel towards this person, you may also just have a tendency within your life to be like, okay, all is forgiven. And then like not hold on to your boundaries. But I'm seeing this be very important for you, because even if you have forgiven this person, that doesn't necessarily mean that they're meant to be coming back into your life. Forgiveness is an individual process. You do not need to involve anybody else in the forgiveness process. Like you can complete the process on your own. You don't need to tell anybody that you forgive them or whatever, like unless you want to. So know too that like you can heal and you can work through things without having to involve other people in it. Because it's ultimately about you. It's not about the other person. And vice versa. That's like if somebody else has to work through forgiving you, you can't do anything about it, and it's their own process to work through. So I'm seeing you feel a bit stressed out, a bit caught up in your head about a decision that you have not made yet. The gag is that once you make this decision, you move out of whatever like confusion or like whatever this murkiness is that you're dealing with. It looks intense emotionally. It looks like you're very caught up in your head. And it looks just like confusing in general. But as soon as you make this decision, because I'm seeing the Two of Swords be in the very center of this spread. As soon as you make the decision, you're going to be like extricating yourself from this, okay? So it's not something that you're going to be like dabbling with anymore. But yeah, I'm seeing like you have some sort of choice to make here. This can be the difference between making a choice that may be more difficult, but it's the right one for you to make, versus one that would be easier, but it would be one that's like kind of dishonest, or you like playing into something that you know like you're not being real with yourself about. It looks too like you're working through something subconsciously as well. So this may be something that like you have a harder time like having like dominion over. But I'm seeing it's something that Spirit's helping you work through. You touching base with your higher self and like holding on to like whatever like mantra or philosophy or spirituality like brings you a sense of peace and comfort, and like going that route, like you holding tight to that is absolutely going to help you move through this, especially when you feel like you don't know what to do. So there's also a sense of like trust here, like trusting the universe, trusting yourself, and being patient as you are working through this process. So I'm looking at Neptune, Taurus, Libra, the Sun, Sagittarius, and Pisces. You may not be feeling great about something because of the time that it is taking, but I'm getting like you need to be patient with this, okay? Like you're being guided to be temperance, which means like giving something the time that it needs to work itself out. So this means like allowing yourself to process, not rushing, like being patient. Because temperance is a card of the alchemist. It's about transmuting energy, but you need to like do it correctly in order for it to work. For some of you too, you may be like struggling a bit too because you feel like kind of lonely right now as well. That may be making things harder. But you got this. You know, for some of you, you could have been dealing with someone that the effect that they wanted to have on you was one that, like, even if you walked away, you would still be very, like, caught up with them and what they're doing. So it's like, even if you're not physically with them, like, they wanted you to still be, like, mentally caught up in whatever game they were running is what I'm getting. But this is, like, one of those moments where you defeat this energy by like bringing light to it, by bringing consciousness to it, by bringing awareness to it, by bringing love to it. So it's like the way that you overcome this is by bettering yourself and bringing like the highest vibrancy that you can to this situation. Especially because it looks like as you work through this thing personally, there is like a very difficult energy that you are learning how to work with, and this can be one that very much lacks the sense of empathy that you do have. And that's why this may be like more difficult to work through as well, because you could have been trying to like crack someone's shell only to find that something that you thought was in there, like they weren't willing to open up to or express. Like this is somebody that like has so much of a wall up that like in a way there's a lack of vulnerability. I'm also hearing a lack of accountability with this person. I'm seeing someone that like still won't even give you a response or validation, like even when you're doing well or even when you're succeeding. And that could have been something that, like, if you were still looking for that validation, could have very much been affecting you as well. Because this is somebody that, like, mentally, I'm just seeing an energy that they like having the upper hand, so they're not like going to like give you something that you want. Capricorn. I'm looking at Cancer too. I did keep seeing the T, which is what came through specifically in the Capricorn reading. I'm seeing a notion of like touching something that you know that you shouldn't touch. This feels like being tempted to do something that you're like, this isn't a good idea, but you may still feel very tempted to do that because of the way that you feel towards this person. But this is about you like working with your emotional, like I'm seeing it's like you working with the Queen of Cups here, and the Queen of Cups is like your astral body. It's like your emotional body and what's going on there and how you're interacting with it and how you're working with it. Especially when you're with someone that really pulls in your energy too. Because like, to be honest, I'm seeing somebody that's like very much in their shadow, but somebody that like may very much be lacking a sense of self-awareness, and so they could like really not have any idea that they're in their shadow right now. And so this is somebody that is like so out of touch and, like, to be quite honest, kind of delusional with their energy in a way where like this may be somebody that is like egotistical. They think that they're better than other people, and they just like, I'm even getting like a robotic type of energy. Like this is somebody that like really is lacking in empathy right now. So like, as much as you try to like show them or like bring love to them, this is somebody that like, because of the shadow work that they need to do that has not been done yet, like they're not going to be able to reciprocate. It's almost like you guys speak two very different languages. However, like with this sort of energy that you're dealing with, this is somebody that like, you may be like, well, of course they have to have empathy. Like I've seen them acting in this way before, except they could be in a spot where they're like modeling off of what they're seeing. So like, rather than it coming from a genuine place, they're just like repeating certain things that they've been seeing. And that may be confusing for you too, because you may be like, well, I've seen them act this way before, or like whatever it is, or you've seen them get very emotional, so you're like, of course they should be able to understand this, or like, who doesn't understand it? Because like empathy is a second language to you, Pisces. However, like this person is just still not in a place where, I'm just like getting like something is very closed off. They definitely have like something in, I'm getting like a very severe blockage within the root chakra. So of course, like the upper chakras are also going to be blocked too. I'm hearing, because it's all a free flowing system. And so this is somebody that, if your root chakra is blocked, this is somebody that's still in survival mode. This is somebody that's like looking at other people, and it's like everybody is either like an enemy or a friend, and that switches very frequently. Somebody that's very much in survival mode, like taking advantage where they can. This is not somebody that like really believes in karma in the grand scheme of things. I'm hearing, unless that benefits them. And so this is somebody that is going to like play off of your emotions and your emotional experience, and it's something to be aware of too, because this is somebody that you could very easily fall into. I'm getting like this notion of being like in a codependent relationship with this person, but it's more so like this thing of like a more narcissistic energy versus like a more empathetic energy, empathic energy. With like, to have the devil in between, it's like this thing that you go back and forth with this person, and it's like, because they are very much like at a deficit, like in comparison to where you are, like because there's that drasticness there's like a really intense duality that's created between the two of you. So this is something that like there's only so much that you can work with. And at the end of the day, like I'm not seeing you get very far with this person, and this can be like the whole reason why you guys are not together right now. So this feels very much like a reminder of like what was actually going on within the relationship and how you actually succeeded by, I'm hearing the word trouncing. It's like trouncing out this energy, or like trampling on it, whatever it is. It feels more so like you had found a way to kind of like defeat this. But when I say defeat, it's more so like you have completed a lesson with this person. You do not need to go back into this with them. So this is like, it feels more so like a reminder of like why you are away from this person and why you guys do not need to be getting back together, because I'm seeing this person is still in the same type of energy, and it's like I'm seeing them like watching you be successful. And of course they're feeling a type of way about it, but they're still not in a place to be genuinely happy for you or be genuinely rooting for you. And so like, of course you can still absolutely be feeling love towards this person, but it does not look like a spiritually safe situation for you to get yourself back involved with, is what I'm seeing. I'm looking at Cancer and Capricorn here. All right, my friends, we are going to leave the reading here. I would like to thank everybody for joining. Thank you for tuning in. I'm wishing everybody love and light and healing, and I hope to catch you guys next time.